I'm an investor. I'm constantly trying to find a way, the path of least resistance, to invest my capital, redeploy it. I have to look around the world for opportunities. I have to be diverse. And crypto to me, when it was being frowned upon by regulators in a very harsh way, if you recall, 2017 was probably the height of when regulators were clamping down on tokens and different ways to tokenize assets like hotels and everything else back then. And as a result, I'm so involved in the traditional financial services market, where I'm highly regulated and I have to report almost monthly to both my internal auditors, compliance department, and external regulators all around the world, that's the world I'm used to. And I saw no relief coming from regulators. And then what turned me around, what changed me completely, was when the Canadians, the OSC, granted the very first crypto exchange license attached to a dealer broker. A compliant platform. It wasn't rogue anymore. They told Canadian citizens you can transfer your cash out of your bank into this centralized wallet and you can trade Ethereum, Bitcoin, and slowly more and more coins were added. Then they announced in Canada the very first Bitcoin ETF. Then they announced the very first ETF that was for Ethereum. They were moving forward with policy that was regulated. And I immediately started investing in that because I saw it coming. I saw the writing on the wall. And I've also made the assumption, this is a personal assumption, that the OSC, the regulator that granted that world order for the first time, a dealer broker, was well in touch with the SEC and other regulators around the world. They talk to each other every day. Maybe Canada was being used as a petri dish or an experiment to try it. And it's been wildly successful. That's when I got involved in WonderFi. I became a shareholder there. WonderFi bought BitBuy, which was the first regulated exchange, and now that company has 800,000 registered, compliant crypto accounts. It's the model for the rest of the world. So I got on a plane, I went to United Arab Emirates, Switzerland, England, South America, and I started showing these different regulators, look what the Canadians are doing. Can we do the same thing here? And that's exactly how I'm spending my time now, trying to open up these new markets with the policies that have been put in place, tested, and proven to work in Canada. What's happened to me is I've been layering in now for 36 months. I started at 2.5%, went to 7, then we went past 15. Now in portfolio theory, if you're running, a mandate such as a sovereign fund, let me give you the rules by which those big boys play. And I'm using the same philosophy for crypto. We have 11 sectors in the S&P 500. Portfolio theory would tell you never more than 20% in any one sector, never more than 5% in any one stock or bond. That's diversification, and that's basically how 99% of sovereign wealth is managed by indexers like me and many others that are like me. And so I've done the same thing in crypto. I've said, okay, I think crypto will be the 12th sector of the economy in 10 years. I'm going to treat it that way now in the operating company. That means I can put up to 20% of our operating capital into the crypto space, and then I want diversification. So I've basically done exactly that. My largest holdings right now are Ethereum and Bitcoin. That's not a big surprise, but I also have a big position in USDC, big position in FTX as an equity, which is a private company, and then on down. Polygon, I got involved with Sandeep. I liked his story. I met him in Dubai, trying to reduce gas fees on top of Ethereum. Makes a lot of sense for India and other countries like that, like what he's doing. I bought a piece of that. Love what's going on in the Serum projects, Solana. I'm a big fan of what Sam Bankman-Fried is doing. These things all make sense to me, but in the proportions of diversification. Now that portfolio, I'd say about 8 weeks ago, was at 21%. Now it's down at about 18. There's been a big correction in the market, but you've got to hold your nose and get used to the volatility. And it lets me adjust positions. I can add a little bit to my USDC. But my compliance department doesn't consider USDC a money market or a proxy for cash. They consider it a highly volatile equity. That's because of what's been going on in stablecoins. So I'm limited to a 5% weighting there, and I'm trying to get some policy while I'm here in Washington. Remember, we go right back to that. Give me one thing, just give me policy on stablecoins and let the market compete. And I can put a lot more into that space because I've got a lot of cash on my operating company balance sheets. Inflation is 6, 7, 8%, and I'm getting 45 basis points in a bank. That's really crazy. I could do a lot more with stablecoins. That's a challenge. You can't get your compliance department on board because they say, show me the policy. Well, there is no policy. That's the problem. Is it FDIC insured? We don't have that yet. We've really got to get this stuff nailed down. That's why I keep telling everybody, get behind policy, because you're going to get a whole lot more capital into this space. There's 52 billion already in USDC. Tether's out there that broke a buck, so I can't touch that. And of course, Luna was insanity. Well, we now know algorithmic-based stablecoins, well, they don't work so well, do they? So the market will figure that out, and they'll basically adjust accordingly based on risk and return.